medal winning team in Seoul and the 1989 World Championship team in Stuttgart is hoping to lead her team to another gold medal tonight.
This event happens but every 4 years. This will be my only chance to win a gold medal.
But the current U.S. national champion, Kim Zmeskal, is assured that she and her teammates will give the Soviets stiff competition.
We came away with a medal. It would show the world that United States is ready and they're ready to come back and that our younger girls are getting stronger.
Can the Soviet gymnasts continue to dominate, or will the U.S. team pull an upset?
Men's basketball.
The best team the United States has ever had, might be. And then men's basketball. The United States form is standing by. The United States ladies are demanding some respect. Right, Hannah?
Certainly they are, Larry. With a guy like Bella Caroli stalking the sidelines, these judges are very familiar with him and the quality of gymnasts that USA coach can produce. Now, normally this would be a Soviet-Romanian battle. Those are the two countries that usually battle for the top spot. However, Romania is in upheaval right now. They've closed their national training center. They've only sent one gymnast. So it figures to be an American-Soviet battle. The Soviets are the best in the world, Larry. They're probably half a point to a point better than the Americans. But the Americans do have what you might call a home court advantage. Over half of the judges here are from the United States. They're very familiar with our gymnasts, and this is a very subjective and political sport. We are going to see two types of gymnasts here tonight, two types of styles between the Soviets and Americans, and they are epitomized in the top two gymnasts here, Svetlana Boginskaya and Kim Zmeskal. Svetlana Boginskaya, the 17-year-old Minsk. From Minsk, Boginya means goddess in Russian, and she is indeed the goddess of gymnastics. 1989 world champion, 1989 and 90 champion, then Kim Zmeskal. Trained by Bella Caroli, the 14-year-old placed a close second to Boginskaya at the Paris International earlier this year. She's the 1990 national champ. Boginskaya returned to the classic ballerina-type gymnast. She's elegant, dramatic, a maturity beyond the others, exuding beauty and grace that has been severely lacking in the sport. And Zmeskal, typical of Caroli's gymnast, reminiscent of Mary Lou Retton. She's powerful and plays to the crowd and perky. Athleticism taking precedence there. She's also very courageous. She has been suffering from a sore Achilles here. She also has a problem in her wrist, but she says, Larry, that she doesn't think that will be too much. I think to sum it all up, I think that assistant coach for the U.S., Stormy Eden, said it best. For the Americans to beat the Soviets are going to have to fall off the balance beam.
Thanks, Hannah. By the way, Hannah and Nick will be with you tomorrow afternoon and Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. There is daytime action that we cover for you on the weekends during the Goodwill Games. Tomorrow is the first day of boxing. Ice hockey begins. The United States takes on Switzerland, and cycling, too. So Hannah and Nick will be with you Saturday and Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. This is day 8 of the Goodwill Games. We're just about at the halfway point. Nick, the medal standing. We must do this.
We've been through a whole week of competition, Larry. They're piling up. They're over the 100 mark. The Soviet and U.S. teams will be highlighted when you see the medal count because they are the only countries guaranteed to have at least one representative in every event at the Goodwill Games. The USA is the leader now, 104 total medals. They really cleaned up in the water. Swimming, the powerhouse, track and field. The Soviets are right with the bulk of their payload in track and field, gymnastics and rowing. The third-placed East Germans won 27 of their 36 medals in swimming. But 27 countries here at the Games have won at least one medal, including the Bahamas, Pauline Davis with a silver in the women's 200 meters of track. And Anthony Nesty, who could forget him, has proved again to be the pride of the South American country of Suriname when he beat American Matt Biondi in the 100-meter butterfly. So we've spread the talent globally here, Larry, at the Games.
And another great night coming up. Ladies gymnastics next. We'll have some special guests with us in the studio, too. As well, the two biggest names ever in ladies gymnastics. Nadia Comaneci and, in fact, we're talking about first names. All I had to say was Nadia and Olga, right? We'll be visiting also with Houston, Texas, to the famous Bella Caroli Gym. All that ahead when the Goodwill Games continue. They're the kids in Houston. We'll be right back with more action in Seattle. Ballard Locks. If you come to visit Seattle, you visit the Ballard Locks that links the lakes Union and Washington into Puget Sound. Concept same as the Panama Canal. Sea lions come here every year to get some salmon, and millions of visitors too. Welcome back to our coverage of the 1990 Goodwill Games. We're going to take you out to Houston, Texas now, And this is the Bella Caroli Gymnasium. You see all these young gymnasts. There is their coach, James Holmes, the head coach of the Caroli Gym. What, Jim, quickly, is the story behind this gymnasium? How did this all happen?
Just a lot of kids coming into the gym, wanting to train, a lot of preparation, intense environment, intense coaching, and that's what they're all here for. That's the idea behind the gym.
How did you latch onto it?
I met Bella 8 years ago at the university, and I was just a young fellow taking a beginning gymnastics class, and he saw intensity and motivation and desire, just like the young kids, and he kind of latched onto me.
Now, are these kids all from Houston, or they come from everywhere?
We have kids from everywhere. A lot of local Houston kids, kids from all over the country that have high hopes and high aspirations to become the best that they can be in this sport, and they've sought out the best gym that they can do that in.
Thanks, James. We'll be checking back with you, and we'll get the reaction of these kids as they watch their elders, if they can be called that, bring you the action tonight from the opening night of Ladies Gymnastics. We're going south now to the Tacoma Dome. It's about 35 miles from here. There they are, Jim Simpson and Kathy Johnson, for our coverage of gymnastics. James.
Larry, it's 1 week later, but the script has not changed. The Soviets are still the favorites, but something has happened here, Kathy, that people might say may hurt the team. It does not, but it certainly hurts the chances of Boginskaya, the world champion.
It certainly has. Svetlana Boginskaya fell from the uneven bars, and it's shocking to see any Soviet have a fall from the uneven bars, but to see a world champion of this magnitude, who's usually cool as a cucumber in competition, right here, off on a reverse heck, just very unusual.
Now, her three teammates did very well, so they are leading at the end of the first half of the first rotation. What does this do to Svetlana now?
Well, Svetlana probably will not qualify for the all-around finals because they only take 2 per country. It will be very difficult to beat out her teammates to qualify for the all-around.
And we're now in the midst of the second half of the first rotation, and the American now at Sandy Woolsey. She's 17 years old from Tempe, Arizona. 8th in the all-around in the World Championships. I said the floor exercise, and of course she's on the balance beam.
Sandy had a terrific year of competition this past year. Finished very high at the World Championships. She was 8th all around there. Her back has been bothering her a little bit this past week, though, and I've noticed in workout she's having a little bit of a tough time with it.
Injuries have been a problem for the American team, including Kim Semesko, who is to follow.
So far, she's moving fairly well. A little bit rough in spots. She had that one balance break right at the beginning. 2 back handsprings to her. Lay out back pike. Good landing on that. One difference you'll notice between the Soviets and Sandy is she doesn't really lock out her legs. She really needs to work on straighter legs, pointed toes, and really cleaning up every single movement. But she's really competing well here on this event. She's fulfilling all the requirements necessary. The full turn is one of the special requirements on the balance beam. She has more than enough difficulty. And here's her dismount. This is the toughest part of her routine. Round up, double back, pulls it around. Oh.
And they'll need everything they can get because the Soviets are off to a great start. And as we were going to say, but we had so little time we had to go down to live action, don't forget the Chinese here either tonight. They are very strong.
The Chinese are very consistent and they're very, very polished.
Much better than an underturn. Good job.
They were 3rd at the World Championships. The Americans were 4th, and this is very unfortunate for Sandy. That's a front mounter. And here's the dismount. Just felt, I believe, that she didn't have enough rotation and had to pull it around more than she really needed to. Got her feet too far underneath her and had to sit down. Of course, that's 5/10 of a point. That's a fall.
Well, as you've seen Sandy Woolsey fall, we've also seen Boginskaya, the world champion, fall.
Now, what that fall does is it puts a little bit of pressure on the remaining 2 gymnasts for the U.S. They really are in a must-hit situation. Amy Shear opened up first on the balance beam for the Americans. They scored a 9.725, a wonderful start for them. But this is going to drop them down just a little bit.
Great combination of athletes here from all over the world and a great group of people here. It is sold out for the next 3 nights. This is Kim Semesko, only 14 years old. She is the star. She's been bothered by bursitis and tendonitis, depending upon whether you're talking
You're not
about
too
her
tired,
heel or you're
as you head
talking
down
about
that
her
runway,
ankle.
pull that double around.
That's Stormy
hard.
Eaton,
Pull it
Sandy
around.
Woolsey's
That's all you
coach.
got to do. Okay?
The Desert
Don't
Devils in
labor your run at
Arizona.
all. Blast it down that runway.
He's already
You'll
talking
be
about the
fine.
floor
You're
exercise.
triple
They're
already.
looking ahead, and it's the best thing to do at this point. You cannot look behind you and think about a past error. You've just got to go on and hit everything else.
9.175 for Sandy Woolsey. Brought about by that landing which she did not stick, she fell. So now we go to Kim Zmeskal, all-around champion from the Nationals in Denver a little bit more than a month ago.
And up until yesterday at 5 o'clock, it was questionable whether she would compete or not. She has tendonitis in that left wrist. You can see that it's wrapped. And it is causing quite a bit of pain, but they say it's not going to cause any more damage working on it. It's a nice press to handstand. Now watch this position. Very nice reverse plunge position.
How good is young Kim? Second to Bogunskaya in Paris.
Kim is very tough in competition, which is going to help her block out the pain that she might feel in that wrist. It was a difficult pass. Back handspring, 2 layout step outs. Nailed it. Solid. Off to a very good start. Moving quite well. Keep in mind that each team can drop 1 low score on each apparatus. So they are looking to drop that 9.175. And this performance is well on the way to doing just that. Back handspring, layout step out, down to 1 knee, showing a little originality. Preparing for the dismount, looking for the stick, round off, double back. Perfect landing. You can't do it any better than that. Most people would say it's a disadvantage to start on the balance beam, but when you do a routine like that, it's an advantage. You get it out of the way, and you put a little pressure on the other teams that have to follow.
Great job, hon.
This is a young lady that simply came to Caroli Gym as a youngster, not from out of town, but from Houston, and here she is with a near-perfect routine on the balance beam to start in international competition.
Here's that mount. It's a press to handstand, and she lowers down to what is called a reverse plunge position. Takes a lot of strength and combined with balance. Very nice.
What a contrast in beginnings, Kathy. Bogunskaya falls a champion, and Kim, who was second to her, has this routine that's, well, I don't know what the judges give her, but looks nearly perfect.
A very difficult pass, the 2 layout step outs in a row.
9.90.
All right, and this dismount helped just that. Not a budge on that landing.
9.90 for 14-year-old Kim Zmeskal of Houston, Texas. The team competition in the women's gymnastics has begun, and you haven't seen the last of it yet. Rotation. The United States in 6th, the Soviet Union as expected in 1st. But remember what Kim Zmeskal did. One of Bella Caroli's performers. 9.90, and she was followed by Betty Okino, who also turned in an outstanding performance.
Fortunately, since all the Americans, except for one, hit on balance beam, they'll be able to drop that 1 low score.
I believe that way, yeah.
Now remember what Kim Zmeskal did. She really helped her team. And to follow was Betty Okino out of Elmhurst, Illinois, just 15 years old, and this is what she did.
Betty is absolutely beautiful on the balance beam. Nice long lines, really shows off the long legs, shows off the flexibility.
She's the anchor in this rotation. She finished first on the beam in our national championships.
Fulfilling one of the requirements right off the bat. It's an acrobatic element right into a dance element, the front walkover into the Sisson jump. Very critical pass, back handspring, 2 layout step outs. Solid as a rock. It's her leap combination or gymnastics series requirement. Watch this turn, a double turn. So difficult on the balance beam, very, very risky. Of course, that earns bonus points for her. Showing a nice command. Very solid work.